Hey everybody, I'm Hamsack, and today I have another indie game for you guys to try out. This one is called Beaver Fun River Run, and it's made by a developer called Soul of SysOp System Operations LLC. I don't know what it's supposed to say. Soul of something. And it's just a little indie game you can find on Steam or on Xbox for like $3. I got it on sale for $1. Not to brag or anything. This game is a 2D pixel art style game. The art style's just a little rough, but the characters are cute, so I kind of give it a pass there. The UI is a little confusing. It kind of seems like this is called vacation. There's just a massive emphasis on this upper part. It says vacation. Your attention really just goes there. And then there's a bunch of these arrows that mean absolutely nothing to the game. So I think that it probably would have been better to cut some of this out because it seems like a waste of space. And besides that, we have over here this massive thing here. So behind here, I think, is the record, right? Your record time for making it down the river. Sorry, my face is in the way. Don't know why we need such a massive box here with a backpack and this thing. Again, it's very confusing. I don't know what they were going for. This is actually the name of the game. What do you know? So to play this game, we have to now decipher these hieroglyphics here. So you can assume that it's B to leave, and this one says I. So you press Y to activate the information, and then this kind of looks like a wrench, so for your settings, right? And then this starts you into the game, where we're smacked in the face with this giant wall of text. This here just tells you how to play. This is all the information we really needed. Complete the track, the river, avoid penalties and hazards, use my hat to avoid splashes, collect bonus items, and finish in the top 5 for your score. So here's your top 5. We just have to beat this score here. Not too crazy. That all is simple enough. But then this whole bit here seems pointless. Well, I don't know why this is here. This just tells you what to expect in the game and what to avoid, stuff like that. Which you would imagine that was all just stuff you'd find in the info menu. But instead they put it here in a big wall of text. What I think they should have done is they have this little guy here. I don't know why they didn't just take this beaver, put him up here, and then have a bunch of pictures showing you hazards to avoid. And just say hazards. The rest of it is this massive bit here, which is, it's mostly self-explanatory, right? So this looks like a symbol for boost, right? Whatever. And then this here, your health bar. Okay, that's what it is. It's your health bar. If you bump into enough stuff, you'll lose your lives. So that's what these are, your lives. You also have these hats, which it says that you can use in here to avoid stuff, but I'm not sure how to use that yet. I've played this for a little bit now, and I'm still not sure how to activate the hat. So it says use your hat, but I wish it would show a button to press. Maybe if it was a button that I press. Anyways, you also have these fish here with your little dragon radar to find Dragon Balls. But I imagine instead of Dragon Balls, it's fish. I don't know what the fish are for. Just kind of breaking it down, I imagine it probably has something to do with the raccoons. The raccoons like to eat fish, I guess. So we probably collect fish and throw them at raccoons or something. Just a guess. Doesn't actually tell you, so we just kind of have to figure it out on our own, which is fine. But if you're going to have this giant wall of text, you might as well tell me how to use the fish. Oh, and you also have a timer. You have this timer up here telling you how fast you have to get down the river. You have to beat this time, and you have to get enough of this score. and enough of these leaves to get high enough on the board to qualify for round 2. And now you also have this frozen beaver here. This is player 2. So, or at least I assumed it was, because it has a little controller here behind Trunks and Vegeta that has a little controller that tells you to press start. And after pressing start with another controller, it did absolutely nothing. So I don't know what it's trying to tell me, but there are 2 lanes, one here and one here. So, and your guy starts here. So you'd imagine that player 2 would start here, right on my forehead, but it doesn't. Nothing happens. This beaver stays frozen, and then this little guy says go, and you go. Let me show you how the game actually plays, because it's also confusing. Sort of a segue into controls and everything. I saw these reviews, so this is kind of the reason I wanted to do this game in the first place. There's only 2 reviews on this game. There's one review on Xbox and one on Steam. This one here kind of told me exactly why, what I need to know. Help, can't figure gameplay out. What is going on? How do you activate power paddle? Why can't I paddle far? This guy tells me that he's enjoying the game. It took him a few minutes to feel for how the boat and river interact, and the river is longer than he imagined it would be. He says that it is easy to play but challenging. I disagree. To me, it is not easy to play, but he's right about it being challenging. He's only been playing for an hour, so it tells me that it's rough. You know, he got this game for free, it says here, so maybe he's trying to be nice. And I'm honestly trying to be nice too. Anything harsh I say about this game is just, I'm just trying to bring to light some changes that could be made to improve the game, because I think this game has potential, and I think that if there was just a couple of things that were changed, it could be really good. It could be a really fun little game. I decided I wanted to go into this without knowing how any of the controls worked, because I wanted to experience this how he experienced this, right? So I didn't click on the settings or info to tell me how to start moving or how to control my boat at all. So I just wanted to figure it out myself. Too bad it's kind of tricky to figure out on your own. You would imagine that you're controlling this beaver from his own perspective, right? So you start pushing forward to move forward, and it doesn't work. Okay. Okay. I get one little boost there. Okay, now I'm not moving. Okay, sweet. I hit that little circle. I think that's probably a checkpoint. That's probably what they are. Oh, I'm kind of moving forward, but turns out that's just kind of the way the river moves. It just runs that way, so you move that way. How the heck do I move? I'm stuck. Am I supposed to go? Oh. Oh, it's backwards. Okay, I get it. You have to push up to go down. Okay, and I hit a bomb or something, I guess. So you'd imagine, okay, if I want to turn my boat, I just, you know, I just push it in a different direction. But your boat doesn't move. Why am I dying every time I hit these little circles? Is it inverted? What the heck did I just hit? I just died? From what? What did I hit? Okay. Okay, let's... I just keep exploding. What the heck? I'll tell you why. It's because you have to angle your boat. You don't just turn your boat like you would think. You actually have to press X or B to adjust the angle of your boat. You have to tap X every time you want to shift the angle to the left, or from your beaver's perspective to the right, and vice versa for B, right? You go the other way. Okay, so I could push forward there, and then like that, and there. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. A little tricky to figure out at first, but that isn't the tricky part. The tricky part is everything else. So all you pro gamers out there that think that they're this racing whiz or something, prove me wrong, but I think that you would struggle with this game because it is something else. I've played my fair share of racing games, and this is a tough one. There's like 1,000 different obstacles. Now, really, there's only like 3, but it feels like 1,000 because there's rocks and waterfalls, there's little patches of white water, and checkpoints. So first off, the rocks are going to damage your health a little bit. I kind of use them as buoys, but you kind of don't want to do that because eventually you'll crash and die. But another thing is you have these little patches of white water that if you hit those, you crash and die. The waterfalls are a little tricky because if you're going down them at the wrong angle, you crash and die. Say your boat is drifting just a little bit and you happen to barely tap the other side of the waterfall that is angled a little bit differently, you crash and die. And then if you move at all while on the waterfall, you'll crash and die. So there's this red circle that will tell you that you shouldn't turn, right? Don't readjust your angle of your boat or you'll die. And then once that circle goes away, you're fine. And you have to quickly avoid the rock or the checkpoint that's in front of you because you'll crash and die. So, moving on to checkpoints, why are these an obstacle, you say? Well, let me tell you. Now, really what they're there for is to add more points to your overall score, which is usually, it's supposed to be a good thing. And if you hit all the checkpoints in succession very quickly, you'll be able to collect the leaves underneath them. So that's really cool. The problem is you have to hit these checkpoints at the specific angle that they show on the checkpoint. Now it's a little tricky to see at first, but what that means is you'd crash and die if you're not the right angle, duh. But some of the checkpoints switch angles. Yeah, after a couple of seconds they just boop, and if you're not at the right angle, you just die. So that sucks.
Keep going, you're good, you're good, and
Boop. Oh my gosh, and then if it wasn't shifting, oh, I hate that. Yeah, and even if you're trying to avoid them, make your life easier on yourself, right? Just be like, I don't care about points. I just want to see what the end is like. Good luck, because it ain't gonna happen. The river's gonna shove you into a checkpoint when you're least expecting it, and then you're screwed, and now you're dead. Again, let me break this down for you guys. Ways you can die. Hit a rock too many times, you die. Go down the waterfall at the wrong angle, you die. Turn your angle on the waterfall, you die. Hit a different side of the waterfall at the same angle that you've been at, but you barely bump it, you die. Hit a checkpoint, even unintentionally, at the wrong angle, you die. Some white water rapids, you die. That's a lot. But you also die if the timer runs out. For some reason, the timer is at, why is it 45.77 seconds? I don't know, but it was just kind of weird. What would I like to see change? I want to see it get better. I do see potential in this game. There's just a few things that probably be fine-tuned and made some improvements on, I guess. Like having the boost bar be as big as the health bar, I think that's weird. I think it should just be like a little box that turns white, right? You press A, it turns white, and then it changes back to blue when the time's up, right? I don't know if we really need a whole bar for that. I'd rather have a more of an emphasis on my health rather than my boost. Another thing, I don't know why, I don't know why we need such a massive box of text. Maybe break it down, right? That's kind of what I think, is just kind of break it down. Have the beaver guys say, these are your hazards, warning, or something like that, right? And then have little pictures of the different hazards. You know, maybe if there's some more specific things you want to dive into, sure. But I think a lot of that should just be in the info screen. Another little UI change I think could be the map/start screen a little bit, just because there's a massive there's a massive emphasis on this vacation thing. I don't know why, but I think that it would be good to just maybe get rid of the arrows and everything, move the beaver someplace, or don't even move the beaver, just moving the word vacations off the top. So instead of having this vacation thing with this empty box of confusion, maybe put the box, make the box bigger, put some words in there so we know what the box is for. Yeah, just a couple of things there on the start screen. That's pretty much it for the UI. Aside from the UI, it's pretty much just like the controls are inverted, and I don't feel like they should be. It's a little confusing for a player that's jumping in to understand that they're inverted. It takes a second to figure out, but that's not a big deal because your character's facing down, so eventually you kind of figure it out. The goofy thing is pressing B and X to turn, but I understand that's a game mechanic, so that's fine too. The problem I have with the angles, though, is with the checkpoints and the waterfall. I think they should be a little bit more forgiving. Like, instead of hitting them at the wrong angle and dying, maybe just hit them at the wrong angle and you don't get points. You know, you don't get the points for that checkpoint, so you can just move on to the next checkpoint and hope you hit that one. It makes a lot more sense to me to have it be that way, because then it just doesn't feel so terrible to die all the time, and it's so confusing, especially at first. You're hitting those and you just don't understand why you're dying. Besides all that stuff with the river and the UI, the final thing is the timer. I don't know why it starts at 45.77 seconds, but I don't think there should be a timer at all. I know that might be a weird thing to say, but maybe make it so you are timed, so that way beating your own personal best feels really good. But maybe make it so you're not being timed where the timer runs out and you're screwed and you die, because there's already so many other obstacles that also being timed just sucks. I know that sounds like a lot, but one final thing is I'm not sure if that's a co-op function or not, but if it is, I would love to see it work, or see how to make it work, because this would be a fun game to try to play with 2 people. With all the other changes and everything, and the co-op, I think that this game has a really good chance of being something really fun to play. I didn't get very far. And it was a little disappointing because I wanted to see what else this game had to offer, but it was just way too hard. I think it would be a lot better game with all these changes that I recommended, but take them or leave them, whatever. Hopefully this game sees a little bit of love, because I would love to see more of this game. I'd love to come back and play it with people. Like, it seems like such a fun little game. If there's some changes to it, that's pretty much it. So if you want to give the developer some support and check out the game, I'll have some links down in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and let me know down in the comments what you think of the game. Have you tried it out yet? Would you try it out yet? Does it look too ridiculous for you, or does it look like it'll be super fun for you and family to play or something like that? Let me know. And do you think there's going to be any changes? Do you think it needs any changes? If not, let me know too. Just comment. I love reading comments. I don't get enough comments, so please just let me know what you guys are thinking. And if you want to check out more videos like this, I do reviews like this all the time. I also do tips and tricks videos for games you might have played. And if you want to see more of that, hit the little sub button and the little bell. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace. And this button here is blue or red. I can read. It's red. I can see. It's red. Anyways, it's red. Let me break this down for you guys. Boop, you'll crash and die. You die. You die. Boop, boop, crash and die. Good luck. Eventually you'll crash and die. Again, you crash and die. You die. Boop, boop, you crash and die. You die. You die. You crash and die. Boop, 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 you die.